in with the Ode, get kind of like claim your distance onto Danny. If you don't get the hit with the cleanse with the wave breaker, stun that bad boy. Like, he's not going to go anywhere. That ultimate's going to get pretty much disconnected. And even worse for me, I feel like the matchup for Chano going up against the Marco Polo here goes into the favor of the Chano, just because you have those Spirit Wolves. So that's going to really try and block the Splendid Revolver, the first skill of Marco Polo, which is pretty much one of his bread and butter of his kit.
The one thing that I've never actually liked from the Marco Polo is just the directional damage that it has, right? It's very limited. It's just one straight line of bullets that you can deal damage with, right? And something like the Chano that can have multiple wolves coming in, it's going to be very difficult for Danny to try to clean all of.
Once he's online, once those objectives start to come through and the blading phase pretty much halts, you're going to be seeing him trying to get the pushes on these T1s, T2s.
1 minute and 30 seconds. You can see that the Dahlia coming in here, and they're just helping up with Siri. That 2v2. One of the beautiful things about the Dahlia is just the rotations are very easy, right? Like very mobile hero. So it can actually just be moving in between lanes extremely quickly. That allows you to sometimes just feel that you're not playing a 5v5, but you're actually playing a 6v5. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, even the damage as well. Like, she recently got a buff on her damage, and honestly, in the early parts of the game, it really hurts, especially on a squishy hero like the Marco Polo. Yeah, like, you've got waves slapping you, and if you have a phobia of water, good luck.
I don't want to be slapped by no waves, man. Please, I don't want that no more.
I live in rain. We're basically used to it, but it's rain instead.
Of course. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at this. This is going to be our game number 3. We can already see how all of these rotations are just setting up the same pace on the first 2 games. Same pace right now over here. Lucian is going to have eyes on Migi, and Migi is going to be taking a 2v2. One more time. Look at that.
Oh yeah, Tatsuri had a nice little flank there. Could have actually got on, but there it is. The Yang Jian dive in with the ulti. Beautiful shred down of damage there from Haku. Getting the first blood for the first time for Nongshim Red Boss here. But still, Carl is like, you know what? If you're gonna take a kill, I'm gonna take your Azure Golem, but rightfully so here. Haku's like, okay, bet I'll raise you your own, and I'll still be able to get my Azure Golem, because if Haku didn't do that, that's a problem.
Great decision coming in from Carl, right? Like, he sees that the Yanjin is already over there on the clash lane, so immediately it was a moment of nanoseconds when he just started making his way for the Azure Golem. Sadly for him, the Dahlia had eyes on him, sensed information, and they are able just to react to it. So there was not a very big advantage. At the end of the day, it was still better from Nongshim Red Force, since they were able to take the kill as well.
Oh, looking to go for the approach here onto Namu. Gets hit by the cannon blast. The Fever Barrage just come through, but now it's going to be actually Siri claiming the kill. Oh, the think inside the box is not currently thinking, but Haku gets the dive in, forcing the flash here onto Draw. Draw is able to use the dash away and keep himself alive.
The Overlord
Ratel in a 2v1, nothing that he can do about that. Garuda trying to use his ulti to push them away. And look at that, Ratel's still gonna be able to survive that 2v1.
The shield is from the Majestic Guardians. They kept him alive. Literally a little lifeline there for the side of Illusion, but that's playing as a team, right? That's the whole point of playing as a team, is you have utility within your kit. You need to use it not selfishly, but selflessly to your teammates. That's the whole point of this.
4 minutes and 40 seconds left right over here. After that, Nongshim Red Force, remember that they were able to take on to that first Tyrant. Right now they do have the buff. With this buff, I do believe that Nongshim Red Force need to start trying to alter the pace of things. if you let the pay, or if you let Carl on that pay just continue dominating the tempo of the game, as time passes, it's going to be really hard for you to win these fights. Right now, lucky for them, it's not that big of an advantage, but they need to stop him right now.
Absolutely. I mean, in the same sentiment, if they can kind of outlast him as well, then he kind of his scaling falls off anyway. So I feel like there's a prime spot in time here for Boom Esports to get the victory in the condition here of pay. But speaking of getting taken down, it's going to be a draw here. Getting taken down there, that think inside the box didn't do as much impact as it's really hoping for, or at least enough time for Tatsuri to get the rotation. And now, bot side of the map is in Nongshim's favor.
Has destroyed a tower.
Nongshim, right after making the moves in there, they decide to go for the turrets. And one more time, it's going to be Rattel that is going to be an out 1v2. Again and again and again, poor Rattel is never having any help.
He's nice. He's always at the disadvantage here, but sometimes, to be fair, I think Rattal's probably like the player the most that's been put in those sticky situations. If he's not put himself in there, like we saw in game number 2, he can still outshine it, right? Like, he's like, okay, bet, bring your 2v1s. I can basically do some division and make you a 1v1 with my abilities, and there's going to be a bit of attempt there for Haku to get that Azure Golem away from Carl, and is successful at doing so.
Amazing timing for Haku as his passive was just online at the moment. So it was really good. Comes in, gets a timer on Carl's Azure Golem, and right now he's going to be Nongshim Red forcing control of all of the resources. They got the timers, they've got the gold. Sadly, they're going to lose this turret in here, but at this moment in time, that turret in there does not make a very big difference.
Doesn't make a big difference just yet, but it's just going to kind of like equalize that lead that Nongshim had into the bot side of the map there for the side of Boom. So whenever that Tyrant comes around, it's pretty much neck and neck, and the potential there is really going to lie within that team fight. But the devastating loss there is that T1 into the mid lane.
Of course, yeah, no, like losing that T1 in there just puts a lot of pressure on the Carl, because right now his resources are going to be always going to be targeted. Look at that.
Yeah, the flash in with the Truth Mantra, but into the backline is going to be the Ryujin from Tatsuri. The pickup, that is revenge for Rattel being so aggressive. It's going to be that pickup for the side of Boom Esports, but now it's going to be paid back from Haku. Haku's getting the slow, gets a kill down on Tatsuri, and now Miji finds himself in a bit of a rock between a hard place, but Haku gets annihilated by that T3.
That T3 is still just dealing so much damage as the T2 is still standing. So you can imagine that just taking a hit from that T3, it's gonna hurt so bad, man. Rattel comes in being extremely aggressive. He comes in with the flash, finds in the True Mantra onto the wall. The problem in here is that it was not lethal. And if you are not able just to have some follow-up and some teammates coming in with you, you're putting yourself in a very precarious position.
Exactly. I mean, the only other like hero onto the side of Nongshim Red Force that can really kind of like keep up with that distance cover in there is definitely Haku onto the Yang Jian. Like, there's no other way that Illusion, Siri, or even Namu here can really keep up with that same pace without exhausting their flash. And the problem is, if you exhaust the flash onto the Garuda and to the Chano, you pretty much locked yourself in there with the enemy team and no means of escaping. So you've really got to make sure that that team fight's worth taking.
Oh, come on, man. Like, in this moment right now, the teams need to be extremely careful. These two teams are fighting for one ticket into the final. First final of 2026. So if you want really to be able to start 2026 with the right foot, you need to take 4 games today so you can play against Nova Esports tomorrow afternoon.
Exactly. I mean, it's not the easiest fight to have as well after this one. It's going to be against Nova, but then it's going to be the takedown for Nongshim. A 2-0 trade overall. Tatsuri and draw the blood there, but it's going to be that top T1. Keeping alive here, Danny, for now, but it's going to be a bit of a 4v1 dive there. Using the Soaring Shot, the Fever Barrage at the backline. Tries to do a little bit of an attempt to take down the Garuda, but it's enough to take down the minion wave, which is going to keep that T1 alive for now. So even though he goes out with grace.
Oh yeah, 3-0 trade right now for Nongshim Red Force. Things are looking horrible for Boom Esports. 10 seconds for the Tyrants to go into their shadow mode, and this is just not good for them. Because right now, if Nonshim is able to just take onto that, the pressure on the high grounds right now is going to be imminent and is going to be immediate as well.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want any immediate pressure if you are the side of Boom Esports as well, right? I mean, definitely now that we have obviously the takedown of the Shadow Tyrant come through, Carl's trying to make sure work of the Shadow Overlord, but can they get the steal here? It does go up to the favor of the side of Boom Esports. Give it Tatsuri to get that last hit there. And actually Spoken, sniping out Miggy is going to be Illusion with that Wings of Judgment.
Oh, look at that. Right now, it's Carl, the one that is on the run. 4 members of Boom Esports going around trying to find onto Carl. They have eyes on the tiger. Can they actually get the kill? He's surrounded by everyone. Sorry about that, Carl. There is not going to be a miracle today.
Carl decided to have a bit of a track and race there. Just thought, you know what, I'm going to do a quick circuit around the enemy team's base and see if I can survive. And the answer to that one is unfortunately limit tested, and it is no. So don't try it in your ranked games there, ladies and gentlemen. As we see the approach here from Nongshim Red Force, they're looking to put a lot more pressure into that mid lane and really start to open up that enemy's jungle.
Red team has destroyed
Danny already
tower.
trying his very best to do the split push, right? Like he went for his Crimson Golem. He's got right now Crimson Golem, so he's being able to sustain himself a little bit more. The problem in here is that the Marco Polo on that split push and the Carl on the Tigers on the pay on that split push is the only option that Boom Esports has against him.
Blue team has slain an
Oh,
enemy.
Rattel find himself in a very hard situation to overcome that one. But I mean, the death of Rattel means that they can further push this side of Boom Esports, right? Obviously getting the minion wave, but the high ground turrets there is going to do a bit of damage there. Get the T2 top side of the map. So yes, they lose a life, but it's irreparable damage onto that turret there. Oh my goodness, Series using the pack wolves. He gets the takedown of the call, and now Tatsuri's like, hey, I want some of this action. Gets the takedown here onto Siri, and now we're looking for some more to back up. The boys in blue have come through. It's going to be Illusion with the Wings of Judgment, but Haku gets the pick off.
Look at Danny trying to go in for the back door. He's going to be able to take onto that turret, but to what price? Because right now, it is going to be Nonshim Red for the ones that they want to take on the high ground in the mid lane as well.
Yeah, the high ground does fall for the side of Nongshim, but still staying alive here for the side of Boom Esports. So I feel like it has paid off here for Danny. If he's able to get out with his life here at least, then I feel like that is definitely a job worth being done here for the side of Boom Esports. But Nongshim, they've definitely got to kind of put a little bit of filler in that crack in the wall.
Not gonna lie, Blam. The backdoor play, for me, it's a very PKL kind of move. Not gonna lie, I see it a lot in PKL, just to see like people just trying to go in the moment that we're down. I'm just gonna try to just steal the crystal in any moment that they can. I see it that it has been pretty famous and very frequent in PKL. Have you had that same feeling?
Absolutely. I mean, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? So if you do it and don't get it, that's fine. But if you do it and you get it, that's just saved yourself a good 5 more minutes of a game that you didn't need to play. But it is definitely a PKL identity here, and only they seem to be able to do it and pull it off with finesse, or at least the timing that's needed and the care.
Right now, the problem for Nongshim Red Force is that having that opening in there at the bottom lane, out over there at the farm lane, it is just psychological pressure on them. Because right now they cannot focus only on what their objective was, which was just to go and take on the high ground. They need to have eyes all the time on the possible backdoor.
Overlord has been defeated.
Exactly, yeah. It's always going to be in the back of their mind, kind of just like, did I turn off the gas on the stove? Like, did I actually lock the door at home? That's exactly what's happening to Nongshim right now, and happens to me right now as I sit at my desk in my house thinking, I don't smell gas, I'm fine. Whereas Nongshim, they might be smelling gas in a few moments. That might be the problem.
It might be a very big problem for them, man, because right now, in what it looked like today, a game that they had under control, that opening in there just makes the game to be 50-50 one more time. Look at how right now with Boom Esports, every single time that Nongshim Red Force has gone for the Tyrant, they go for the Overlord immediately. 1 against 2. One more time, Rattel.
Yeah, Rattel managed to actually escape there with that shield once again given by the side of Illusion, but now we're seeing a pack chase onto Danny. Danny does fall here, but once again, look at that bot side of the map, ladies and gentlemen. Carl is looking for a retreat, and they're trying to stop the recalls of total members of Nongshim Red Force, but luckily, we do see that Siri gets back, but can he keep it alive? The base rush is going to come through here for Carl.
Is it enough time?
Do it? No,
Wow!
it's not enough time.
Yeah,
It's from BG. He was trying his best to stop that recall.
And right now it's gonna be Boom Esports, the ones that they are gonna have to go back and try to fix this. 30 seconds until Carl comes back. They have at least more time for a power play. The minions in the mid lane are gonna come. What is Midi gonna be able to do against these three members of Nongshim Red Force Black?
Red team has destroyed a tower.
They gotta hope and pray that they can actually stop this splintering at top side. The amount of opportunities that this is creating for the side of Boom Esports is very scary. So they gotta make sure that they take some of their ground for themselves to put that pressure back onto their side, and also make it so that they also have that psychological kind of stress onto the side of Boom Esports.
Look at that right now. If they get to take onto that turret, they're going to stabilize what had been a little bit of a bleed place for them. They are able to put some more pressure. The waves are still pretty far away, and we're back to a 5v5.
Back to the 5v5. Everyone back onto the gorge here, and Nongshim Red Force, I mean, as much as it's worth right now, they are ahead in terms of the gold lead, but if you look at itemization, other than Draw and other than Namu, they're still pretty much slowly building towards that 6-slotted itemization, whereas the rest of the crews pretty much got there, and the peak is already peaked for both of these two teams. It's now about positioning and execution.
All right, let's wait and see what's going to happen. Right now, we can see that Nongshim Red Force has already cleaned all of the minion waves, and there are 3 lanes coming in with super minions coming, trying to knock on the Boom Esports high ground door. Where is Carl going?
Carl here. He's trying to freeze maybe potentially the minion wave coming through here, or maybe even try to potentially get a gank here, as he's just kind of made a massive U-turn right now. Looking to go and maybe put that pressure on, try and get the dunk onto the likes of Majestic Guardian here. The Sage of Sanctuary is onto Siri here, so even if he does get the takedown, it's going to take 2 health bars to get him rinsed, but there's Siri being rinsed out like a bad tomato, and on the run is going to be Carl. He has been spotted. He needs to make sure he can get out alive and maybe even recall, and there it is, Draw. He may be taking the brunt here on the side of Nongshim Red Force, and there it is, the dash in. It's going to be the lighter Mantras that's going to do damage. And there we go. Nongshim Red Force finally get game 3.
Nongshim Red Force comes in what looked like a little